Hello and welcome to a SmurDP video. This is X-Men Annual 1 2023, and usually in terms of X-Men annuals, these things tie into what's going on in the X universe. Hence why I brought this. I clearly didn't look at this description because I just thought this was going to conform part of what's going on in terms of the X-Men universe. And I'm really sorry, I've got my camera mixed up. Apologies. That was a bit of a screw up there. So firstly, this was the cover I wanted. And I'm going to sound really like I'm poor now, but for some reason I didn't have enough money to buy this when it came out. So I've only just bought it in the last few days because I have money again. So there we go. Poor SmurDP is buying comics later than usual. But usually I'm fine. Just this month, I don't know, it's a weird month, I tell you. I've never felt so hard done by in my entire life when it's come to buying stuff. Anyway, so this issue is not written by Gerry Duggan, who I was expecting. This is written by Paul Allor, who I'm very fond of their work, and artist Alessandro Miracolo. I'm clear, I probably pronounced that completely wrong, and I apologize for that because I hate saying names wrong. And then we got Annalisa Leone, and I probably said that wrong. Clayton Cowles, I can't go wrong. I say that name all the time. And there we go. So this issue is nothing to do with what is happening in Fall of X right now. This is a story that Marvel have clearly agreed on, and they've clearly agreed to tell it over a period of time, and they've clearly decided to tell it in the annuals, which has been something that has happened many times before. You know, Evolutionary Ward. I can't remember any others, but there's been plenty of these. So from my perspective, sorely disappointed, because right now Cyclops is strapped to a table, being tortured by having his eyelids cut together. Do you know what would have made this work is if Cyclops magically appeared back on that table at the end, then it would have been perfect. But Marvel teams not talking to each other. And I've got this issue that actually I really don't give two flying monkeys about. So, Scott Summers and Captain Marvel wake up in a town in Iceland, etc. And they're both very perhaps similar in terms of themselves, in terms of the way Cyclops will strategize and think about things long term, and Captain Marvel will do something very similar, but then she'll act rashly and try and just break her way through barriers, etc., so to speak. And slowly they start, if I can get to the next page, they start perhaps irritating each other. Slowly, gradually, like their minds are perhaps fogged, etc. And Captain Marvel says, she starts talking about him being, well, he's a colleague. You're a colleague, so I wouldn't have the personal connection with you like I would with somebody else, for example. So I wouldn't be thinking that you're the enemy. And it's like, who are you, etc. And they start sort of starting to bicker, etc. And then she makes a comment about she knows Jean Grey, she knows Logan. They would make a better couple than you. I don't understand your relationship with Jean Grey. And he reacts in this way. And then she reacts. And this whatever's going on in their head, they start fighting, etc. And proper going for it. And Captain Marvel's all brass. You can't beat me, Scott Summers. Goodness, I'm far more powerful than her. And he says, you know, you underestimate me, etc. You underestimate my power. Sorry, Star Wars quote, which my son would love me saying out loud, even though it's nothing to do with Star Wars. And that's happened numerous of times. You know, he took out Osborn. He took out multiple other things that I can't even think of right now. I'm doing a great job of this character that I love. I can't even remember these moments, etc. So they keep sort of fighting, and they can't stop fighting, etc., even though they try. And then eventually they spot this fish, this magical fish. And you can imagine Captain Marvel right now could literally fly down, swoop up, get that fish, and she could escape whatever this world is. So Scott goes to jump in there, and then Captain Marvel keeps fighting him. And they continue to keep fighting. She thinks, I can't get the fish without taking out Cyclops. I've got to beat Cyclops, etc. Stay down, etc. And then she's like, you can't defeat me. I can absorb your thing. So Scott Summers does the only thing that he can think of. He lets loose completely. He literally releases everything. And then she calls him stupid. He says, yeah, I know, right? It makes sense. And then he says, he reminds her of a moment recently in the Broad sort of saga, Captain Marvel, where she almost killed all of her friends and teammates because she was sort of going supernova. So actually, at this point, Scott Summers once again is a genius, and she has to concede because she could kill lots of people. Now, there may not be evidence of people around, but that doesn't mean that they're not there. And she has to concede to Cyclops, who goes and gets the fish, and he shouts out, I win! Finally, he wins. He's been taken out of the orphanage. You know, that seems like the most... I can't imagine Scott Summers saying, I win like that, because the way that I look at Scott Summers, he doesn't need to say how good he is at what he does. He never has. He's not that character. He literally knows in himself. So him saying he wins, I thought was a bit bizarre, and maybe that's because Paul doesn't understand the character. Maybe I don't understand the character. Maybe I'm being overcritical, etc. So yeah. So literally, she's stuck there, and she ends. And then it goes into this whole other crap. I'll be honest with you. I didn't read this. This is around Agatha, who is a character who's probably been more brought to life by Marvel Cinematic Universe and sort of brought back into it. The Agatha Harkness that I remember was an older lady who helped Scarlet Witch with the twins, etc. And, you know, even I can't remember what happened, but it led to Avengers Disassembled, etc. So, and all of this chaos, contest of chaos, will finish in Avengers Annual. So it's been in multiple annuals. This is actually part 7 of an 8-part story, which is why I have no idea what the hell's going on. So when Agatha pits the Avengers against the winners of the previous Chaos battles, they realize they must choose between saving their friends and stopping the creation of a new Darkhold, but their choice may have consequences no one, not even Agatha, could have imagined. So Cyclops must be in that, but I'm not going to go by it. So anyway, checklist. Prelude to Chaos. Scarlet Witch Annual. Damn it, that's in my Marvel Unlimited thing. I may have to read that. Then we got Spider-Man Annual. That's Spider-Man versus Wolverine. Iron Man Annual. Iron Man versus Storm. Why has it got so many X-Men in this? Fantastic Four Annual. Human Torch versus Ghost Rider. Moon Knight Annual. Moon Knight versus... I don't know who that is. And then Spider-Gwen Annual. Oh, I'll read that at some point. Spider-Gwen versus White Fox. That might be quite cool. Venom Annual. Venom versus Deadpool. We've just read Cyclops versus Marvel. Captain Marvel. And then Avengers versus, well, hopefully Agatha to win, right? Anyway, that is my review. If you managed to keep up and you like my channel, please subscribe. I really appreciate that. It's been the most bizarre comic that I've read, and one that I clearly am not interested in very much. And literally, I'm going to stick this on eBay straight afterwards. Hope you like my video. If you do, please support me by subscribing. If you do, thank you for watching. Thank you to those that have subscribed to my channel already. Look after yourself and embrace geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.